Hey, I'm Joe Latender, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install laminate or a vinyl plank up to a fireplace. Now there's several different ways that you can go about this. I'm going to talk about those, and I'm going to show you my preferred method that I use on all of my installations. So here, let's watch. Okay, so today we're going to talk about installing laminate up to a fireplace. Now there's a few different ways that you can do this. The way I like to do it is try to undercut the fireplace. And this is a typical type of fireplace that you see that's maybe in a little older style house where it's just the standard brick. There is a lot of stone that you'll see too where it jogs in and out. But you can see right here is the mortar. And so all I'm going to do is try to cut this mortar out. And I'm going to cut it in so we can slide the laminate right in there. Now if this was a stone fireplace, and you can even do it with this, but if you see, if I cut that mortar out, there'll be a little bit of a gap there, but it will look just fine. But what you can do is you can take a piece of laminate, under it with a piece of pad under it, and you can just draw a line right where your laminate meets, and this is where you want to kind of base on where you're going to cut. And so I'll try to leave some of that mortar in there, but if I ended up getting all of it and it had a little bit of a gap there, it would be okay. Now, what I'm going to use is an angle grinder. This is a masonry blade. It's a diamond blade. It's made by DeWalt. It's a good blade. It cuts. I use this mostly for tile, but I don't have the guard on, and the reason why I don't have the guard on is because the guard would make this sit up off the floor where I wouldn't even be able to get. I'd be cutting way up here. And so I'm taking the guard off. And so I'm basically going to ride along the floor here and cut in. Now, I don't need anybody sending me comments, oh, you're going to cut your hand off and yada 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 about not having the guard on. This blade can be dangerous if you hold it on your hand. Obviously it'll cut through, but it's not that dangerous of a blade. Just be extremely careful if you're going to do it this way. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'll finish marking this fireplace where I want it. Then we're going to run a vacuum to suck up the dust while I'm cutting. And this is a messy job, so you want to make sure that someone's holding a vacuum for you while you're doing this, and also you want to be sure that you open the windows, tape off any areas with plastic to try to keep dust from going everywhere in the house. Now another thing that you can do here is you could, because this is more of a flatter fireplace, you could use a transition there and you'd use an end cap. Now you're going to have a little bit of a gap there if you do use that, so realistically the best way to do this is how I'm going to show you. You could also use a piece of base shoe in front of there. I've also seen people hot glue rope, a rustic looking rope alongside there to cover the expansion joint. You do have to leave an expansion joint here though. So this is the best way that I install laminate up to a fireplace, is by undercutting. And so I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, so now you can see, I just cut this first little section here for you. And I'm gonna keep going and doing the same thing, but with my pad, you can see now I slide it right up there, and that's gonna have a nice look to it. Now if you don't get it the first time, you can just come back and stick your, make sure you always hold this handle, but you can just rock it up a little bit right here to really get in there and take a little bit more off. Okay, so I just finished this fireplace now. This took me about 45 minutes. And it took 2 people, one to hold vacuum and one to grind. Now I also did use a hammer and a chisel a little bit. I mean, to help chisel out some of the stuff out of there that I needed to, and then I went over it with the grinder a few times. You can get a good view in there, but I just kept going around and checking, but you can see that's the kind of gap that I'm going to have there. Now that looks pretty good. It's a little bit of a gap, but it looks good. And I'll show you what it looks like when it'll be all done, but you can kind of see what it looks like after I grinded and chiseled under there. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when it's all done. You can see it has a nice clean look to it, and it's real simple to do. You can see there's a little bit of a gap there, but the fireplace brick isn't exactly perfect all the way across anyway. It has a nice look to it. When you stand back, that's a close-up, but when you stand back and take a real good look at it, it looks nice. Now, that is how I go about undercutting a fireplace, how I go about installing up to a fireplace, whether it's laminate or vinyl planks. So go ahead and give that a try. Just remember, some fireplaces are a little older, and you want to be careful so that you're not knocking stone or brick off. If you do, it's something that you can fix with some grout or some mortar from the home improvement store. It might, not blend in perfectly after you fill it in, but if something does happen like that, it is something that can be fixed. Now, this is just one of the many videos that I have out here on YouTube and on my website. Go down below, click on the link below to Laminate University. That's my members area where I have all of my videos, and I bring them to you in a step-by-step process from the very beginning all the way to the end. You will also have closer access to me to be able to ask your questions, whether it be from, hey Joe, how do I start? Where do I start? Can you help me with my layout? Things like that. So go ahead and click on that link below. Go check out Laminate University. Become a member today. Hey, thanks a lot. I'm Joe the Tender. I really appreciate you watching my videos.